cours. In this video we are going to see a comparison between two French verbs, devoir and falloir. In French, with your French tutor online, myself, Pascal, and FrenchSpanishOnline.com. So let's start with devoir. Devoir gets several meanings. So let's start with the first one, to owe. And in this case, you can say je dois de l'argent à Pierre with the preposition de, devoir de l'argent. Je dois de l'argent à Pierre, and the meaning is I owe money to Pierre. I owe money to Pierre. Je dois de l'argent. You could also say les enfants doivent le respect à leurs parents, and the meaning is children owe their parents respect. Les enfants doivent le respect à leurs parents. First meaning, to owe. The second meaning is related to a suggestion or a probability, and in this case, the verb devoir is conditional mood. Tu devrais prendre un manteau. Here it's a suggestion. Tu devrais prendre un manteau. You should take a coat. So, the conditional form of the verb devoir is should in English. Tu devrais prendre un manteau. You should take a coat. Let's now speak about a probability. Il aurait dû venir. Again, conditional mood, but past tense. Here we have the past participle of the verb devoir, which is dû. If you want the complete conjugation of this verb, you can go to my website. You will find it with sound. So, il aurait dû venir. The meaning is he should have come, or he was supposed to come. He should have come. So, again, the translation of should. Il aurait dû venir. Suggestion, probability, conditional mood. Let's talk now about an obligation, and this third part is interesting for us for our comparison between devoir and falloir. L'obligation, il doit partir maintenant. Il doit partir maintenant means he must leave now. He has to leave now. It's like an order. Il doit partir maintenant. Of course, with this verb, we've got a complete conjugation, so you can say je dois partir maintenant. I must leave now. Tu dois partir maintenant, you must leave now, etc., etc. This is different with falloir. This verb in French is a bit special because we've got just one form, and this form is il faut. In this case, il has nothing to do with he, it's just a neutral pronoun like it. Il faut, present tense. And, for example, the future will be il faudra. The conditional, il faudrait. The past, il fallait, il a fallu. But always with the subject il. You can't use with this verb falloir subject like je, tu, nous, vous, and the plural il or elle. Just il faut, il faudra, etc. So how to use it? The construction is different. Let's see first the first meaning of this verb related to a need. In this case, falloir is followed with a noun. Il me faut un stylo. Il me faut un stylo means I need a pen. And here, because il is neutral, to conjugate this verb, we need to add an indirect pronoun, indirect object. So here it's me. Il me faut un stylo. So a pen is needed to me. Il me faut un stylo. And in this case, the translation will be I need a pen. Let's see now when falloir is related to an obligation. So now the same meaning as devoir. Falloir is followed with a verb. In this first part, we are going to see when this verb is an infinitive form. Il faut travailler. Travailler is to work, so the infinitive form. And the meaning is we must work, we have to work. Il faut travailler or you must work, you have to work. It's something neutral like an order, like a necessity, an obligation. Il faut travailler. But again, if you want to conjugate this verb, you need to add an indirect pronoun. Il me faut travailler. The meaning is I must work. And of course, you could also say il te faut travailler, you must work. Il lui faut travailler, and here lui it is the indirect object, so it can be masculine or feminine. So depending on the context, the translation will be he must work, she must work. Il lui faut travailler. Il nous faut travailler. Il vous faut travailler. Il leur faut travailler. So you need to know here the indirect object. And it's the way to conjugate this expression, il faut. Okay? So let's see now the second possibility with the verb falloir. This is the expression falloir que. In this case, after falloir que, we have a verb, but always subjunctive mood. Il faut qu'elle travaille. Travaille here is the subjunctive mood of the verb travailler. Il faut qu'elle travaille. The meaning is she must work. She has to work. You could also say, because we've just seen that, il lui faut travailler. However, il lui faut travailler is a bit more formal. So, il faut qu'elle travaille is very, very common. Unfortunately, you need to know your subjunctive mood to use this expression because again, it's more common to use il faut qu'elle travaille rather than il lui faut travailler. Il faut que tu viennes, another example. Vienne is the subjunctive mood present tense of the verb venir. Il faut que tu viennes and the meaning is you must come. You must come. Il faut que tu viennes, il faut que vous veniez, il faut qu'il vienne, etc., etc. Always the subjunctive mood. So let's see now for this particular meaning, the obligation, the similar form we have using the verb falloir and the verb devoir with the same meaning. Il faut travailler. So you remember that il faut travailler, the meaning is we must work. So with the verb devoir, the same sentence is nous devons travailler. And nearly the same meaning. Some say that with the verb falloir, the obligation is stronger. Il faut travailler. Nous devons travailler. But actually, you can use both. Il faut que je travaille, with the verb falloir, followed with a subjunctive. Here, je dois travailler. The same meaning, but in this case, with the verb devoir. Il faut que nous y allions, so we must go. With the verb devoir, nous devons y aller. Il faut que nous y allions, nous devons y aller. Okay? So, when these two verbs are related to an obligation, you can use the one or the other with no problem. Il faut travailler, nous devons travailler, il faut que je travaille, je dois travailler, il faut que nous y allions, nous devons y aller. Okay? Well, I think that c'est fini maintenant. Il faut que j'y aille. Alors au revoir et bon français.